While turning U.S. congressmen into superheroes doesn't sound like the best premise for a story. But Ron Paul battling the evils of the Federal Reserve has made it into a comic book at a major industry convention in New York. Over 30,000 fans escaped the harsh realities of life to live out their cartoon fantasies. And as Marina Portnaya explains, in times like these, comics can also be good for balancing the books.
When comic book fanatics unite, the game of make-believe is stretched to the limit.
My armored suit has darts and rockets, mini lasers, as well as it's impervious to lightsabers and blasters.
I'm Slave Leia from Star Wars Episode 6, the hottest geek costume there is, in my opinion.
All I care about right now is brains and flesh.
Brains and flesh?
Brains and flesh.
Is it hot underneath there?
Yes, it is.
At Comic Con conventions in the U.S., you'll likely find more adults than kids living out their guilty obsessions with superheroes.
Everybody wants to escape into fantasy. Some people do it through sex, some people do it through costumes, some people do it through comic books. Life's hard.
To avoid real-life horrors like unemployment, home foreclosure, and war, indulging on fake superpowers may be the best medicine. 30,000 people recently turned out for the 3-day Big Apple Comic Con convention.
From fictitious heroes and villains comes realistic profits. The comic book industry still manages to cash in and cash in big amid an economic recession.
Comic book collector Vincent Zerzolo says the industry has caught the attention of wealthy Americans searching for safe investments.
Every week I'm getting multiple calls from people with the same identical story. I know comic books appreciate in value. I know they're going to be worth more tomorrow than they are today. What do you have for me?
Comic books debuted 75 years ago, selling for 10 cents.
Right now, this is the most expensive comic book we have. This comic book actually is worth $120,000.
In March, Zerzolo marked the most expensive comic book sale in history.
It was for an Action Comics #1 from 1939. The first appearance of Superman went for $317,200.
Among the newest comic books entering the industry today is this 3-page narrative starring Ron Paul. The 74-year-old congressman battles the Federal Reserve Bank.
He's been fighting against, injustice in the system and trying to, get transparency for the government since for over 20, 30 years.
A real-life hero for many now enters the world of make-believe. Marina Portnaya, RT.